She has been willing to come here and put her personal life in front of millions of people because she cares about your approval.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Graham. In today's episode of Dr. Phil, we have one of the most ridiculously overbearing set of parents that I have seen on this show. They are really worried about their daughter and her new boyfriend, who is apparently just destroying her life. But as you're gonna see soon, they are just basically being way too overprotective. And Dr. Phil definitely tells them straight. He sides with the kid for once. So without further ado, let's just get into it and just see how off this family dynamic is.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know why they said that from the beginning. I don't understand why they think he's such a bad person.
Did they have some image in mind of who you were going to meet and fall in love with?
So like I said, these parents have a real issue with their 19-year-old daughter's boyfriend, which, let me just reiterate that. I'm going to be saying that a lot this video. This woman is 19 years old, aka an adult, her own person, yet they are acting like she is some 13-year-old that's in middle school that's like, you know, getting in trouble with the bad group of kids. No, she's a full-grown adult, has graduated college. Like, this girl has her stuff together. She just is dating someone that maybe isn't as rich as her parents want him to be. Maybe it's just this guy not being a ridiculously high-paying job, like Dr. Phil said. Maybe that's why the parents hate him so much, because their complaints about this guy is that he promises our daughter the world. That's literally what they said. They were mad at him for telling the daughter that we can accomplish anything and we're gonna get through everything. Like, basically he's being a supportive boyfriend, and they hate that, I guess.
You've been brainwashed by this young man.
Yeah, they've made that very clear. I don't believe I've been brainwashed. All those morals and goals are still there.
And another thing with their situation, she loves horses, and this guy works at a barn with horses and just a farm in general. So they live on a trailer on that farm, which is a humble lifestyle for sure, but it's what they want to do and it's what she wants to do. And it sounds like she's really flourishing and becoming her own person, and her parents hate that, and they're clinging on like, no, you can't date this person. He's got to make a lot of money. You got to be rich like us. Like, if you look at these parents' house, they have their own little mini putt-putt golf area in their backyard. Like, obviously they come from money, and I guarantee they despise the fact that their daughter's boyfriend has a normal job.
And when you were at college, they got a hold of your call log.
They've done this multiple times from day one.
So this is the first of many things that the parents have done that are just ridiculous and crossing the line in every aspect of the word. I mean, literally, they are breaking this girl's privacy barriers pretty much every day. They get into her call log from the college, and they can see who she's been talking to, as well as trying to get into her phone. They know her passcode because, well, they're her parents and they forced her to tell them, which is ridiculous as well. Look, if you're paying your own phone bill, which I'm guessing she is at this point, just do your own thing. Don't let your parents be so involved with your life, especially when they're crazy and just overbearing like this.
They put all this stuff on me, just started piling it all on and all on and all on.
And then the girl starts getting emotional when she talks about how her parents talk about her boyfriend and her life. Basically, she struggles with anxiety and has panic attacks pretty much every day, and that's already a debilitating thing to be dealing with in your day-to-day life. But then these parents come up to her, and the way they talk to her, it literally sounds like this guy is just going to straight up murder her or something. That's what they think. They're like, he's ruining your life. He's gonna take away your life one day. You're never gonna succeed. He's not rich. You need to find someone better, and you need to do better. Like, literally, they're just berating her, and she has this totally destroyed sense of self-worth because of it. And that's why it's also so difficult for her to be her own adult. If I was 19 and my parents were talking to me like this, thank God they don't, I'd be like, yo, I got my own apartment, I got a job, my own car, peace. I mean, when you're a parent, all you can do is hope that those values you instilled in your kid are going to allow them to live a good adulthood. But once they reach that age, it's really on them to make their own decisions. And it's not in your place to be looking up their call logs and seeing who they're talking to. That's insane. So now the mom chimes in, and she brings up this ridiculous story of her talking to the boyfriend's mom that I almost 100% believe did not ever happen. Let's hear what she claims the other mother told her while they were holding hands, embracing, and crying at the same time.
She said, but it is our tradition to find the girl that they want to marry, isolate them from their family, and then once they marry, they can go back.
Yeah, that never happened. I don't think that's a tradition, and honestly, I think this lady is pretty racist. I think that's another element that these parents have in terms of hatred against this guy. Like, sorry, we can't all just have pearl necklaces around our neck with freaking mini golf courses in our backyard, lady.
We're not talking about bone cancer here.
That's right.
But let's put it in perspective and recognize we're talking about some life choices here.
And finally, Dr. Phil is directing at the parents and being like, okay, be realistic about this situation. This guy is not that bad of a guy. Sure, you might not get along with him, you might not see eye to eye, but he is looking out for your daughter, and it's up to her in her adulthood, in these young years where she is having these transformative times and learning from them. It's up to her to learn from these experiences and figure out, you know, okay, maybe I don't want that quality in a person I'm dating, or maybe I do, but that's on her. You guys can't be stepping in and trying to direct her entire life and telling her that her boyfriend's evil and going to sell her away to the cartel or something. That's another thing they believe.
I actually wrote it down. It jumped out at me so much. You say, complete destruction of a young lady.
So now, of course, he's bringing up their catastrophic language, which is a term that Dr. Phil uses a lot. Basically, it's when someone's verbiage on something is just so negative and so just extremely hyperbolized. I don't think that's a word, but like just so overdone to where you can't reason with them. And that's how these parents sound. They say that the boyfriend is bringing a complete destruction of their young lady that they formed so well because you instilled such good values in her that she apparently can't pick her boyfriends right. And now this guy is destroying her whole personality. No, it's not the case. And they say, we lost our daughter. Like, she didn't die. She started dating someone that was too poor for your liking. That's all it is.
Seriously? You're selling yourselves awfully short.
And I'm glad he's really siding with the daughter here. Like, dude, look at your daughter. She's here. She's on the show. It shows she's willing to try to make progress on this and is wanting this to be resolved, but it's never going to be resolved because it's not even about the boyfriend as much as you'd think. It's mostly about control as well. These are just helicopter parents that are trying to direct every aspect of their daughter's life. And when she doesn't make the choices they want for her, they lose it and just are evil to her. And I hate that. I'm so glad my parents were normal when it came to just me making my own life decisions and learning on my own as well. Like, of course, they guided me in the right ways, but you also have to just live your own life at some point, especially when you're freaking 19 years old.
You don't always agree with every choice your kids make. We have two boys that are as different as daylight and dark.
And that's another point that I think so many parents miss out on. Of course, they have this whole storyline in their heads when they have a kid, like, oh, he's gonna go to college or she's gonna go to college here, do this, do that, become a doctor, whatever. But honestly, the real beauty of having a child is you raise them and you show them your own morals and the way that you live life, and they kind of interpret that in their own way and go out and do their own thing. I think it's beautiful that this girl isn't following in the exact footsteps of her parents and really doing what she wants. And I wish they could see how cool and just awesome that is, actually, instead of seeing it as a negative thing, because it's not exactly what they planned for.
And she's got someone else in her ear right now.
Absolutely.
So you want to be the best voice in her ear. But you have no influence over her right now because you have severed that relationship, that communication line.
So as a final statement to them, Dr. Phil is basically just pleading with these parents to take a step back and look at how they're handling things. I mean, because of the way that they talk to her, the way they put her down, she truly is starting to grow up and realize that, hey, I don't need to listen to them. I'm doing what I want, and that's exactly how I'm gonna live my life. So until they can find that fine line of actual parenting where they're just giving guidance, but not quite condemning this girl for not quite making the right decisions every time, which is normal, she's human, she's going to be making mistakes, especially at 19. But they have to realize she has some growing up to do on her own and just guide her through that instead of punishing her at every corner. So hopefully, if anything, this girl can at least say now that she has fully tried. She went on the Dr. Phil show, and if the parents keep this act up, hopefully she can just separate from that and live her own life happily with her boyfriend, who seems like, honestly, a pretty good guy. But this was a pretty crazy video when it came to these parents. I just don't get how someone could be so controlling and invade their kids' privacy like that, but I know this happens a lot. So let me know what you guys thought of this video down in the comments below, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out.